Okay, hi, part 3. So, I go into work. I need to ask off because I need to go to the abortion clinic in Dallas. So, I go into Chick-fil-A and I tell the manager I need to get off work. And he's like, why? And I said, well, I'm just honest. That was my problem. I've been too honest in my life. So, now that's kind of why I'm glad it's all out here, because what are people going to say now about me? Or what can you say that I haven't talked about already or will talk about? Don't care. Don't mind. So I was really struggling with having an abortion because in my beliefs it was a sin. And yeah, I had been like brainwashed to believe that. I didn't have a chance to believe it fully on my own faith or my own beliefs. It was just because I'm brand new to the world. I like basically come from a foreign country, and now I'm here and I'm trying to figure it all out. And I didn't know that I could get knocked up this way. It was just horrible. So I remember it was on Broadway, and the manager or the owner, I'm not sure if it was the manager or the owner, I thought it was the owner, had taken me outside and sat me down in the chairs outside. So every time I ever go by Chick-fil-A or even eat at them, and I will not eat with them after I found this out today, but I didn't know to the extreme the situation. But so I just like, their food's good, sorry. Like, I know it sucks and they suck as a freaking company and they should be better, but it's Christians. What do you expect? They're not going to be good. They're always bad. So finding good Christians is not it's not something you're going to, I don't know. They just don't give a fuck. So anyways, so I go out and I tell the manager like what's going on, and I don't go into all these crazy details about leading up to it, but I'm just like, I have to have an abortion. And he sits there and tells me, number one, why I shouldn't have an abortion, tells me that I'm gonna go to hell, tells me that having an abortion is gonna make me out to be the worst human in the world, that God is not going to be happy with me and he's going to send me to hell, and that I don't need to have an abortion and I just need to go forward and deal with it. And I'm like, you don't understand like where I come from. I don't have the ability to even figure all this out. And instead of him sitting right there and saying, okay, hold up, you know what, this is Chick-fil-A here, we're amazing Christians. I'll tell you what, we're going to make sure to provide you 100% care and take care of you, get you educated, get you into a way of life that you can be more conforming to normal life and know more about what's right and wrong out here, and what's good and what's not good, what's healthy. And we're going to make sure you're okay so you don't have to do this. So we're just going to provide you 100% support, since we're probably a multi-billion-dollar company. So we need to practice what we teach and speak of. So since you're in this situation, and since your parents think you're having a bastard baby and a baby, we're going to do everything we can to help you. No, that did not happen. So he tells me right there on the spot, if you have an abortion, you're fired. And he fired me right there on the spot. Chick-fil-A. They fired me right there. And I'll never forget sitting there. And you gotta remember, I came from the same Christian beliefs that Chick-fil-A has, is what I was raised with. So they had a great, like, which is sick to think about, but they had this really good access to my life at that moment. You know what I mean? Like, you could have changed my life. You could have helped not make that choice that day. I can't go back and punish myself for what I did not know. I cannot punish myself for the things that never were taught to me. Now I know different. I don't disagree with abortion, because if you've ever been raped and you've ever been put in a position like that, you don't know what it's like to feel like that you have to carry this and deal with all this by yourself. Because that day, that's why I get upset with the Christianity lifestyle, is because they're always talking about what they'll do, but they never do anything but hurt. Like that day he fired me. So not only are you putting me in a horrible financial change in my life, You now are just made the impression upon me that if I don't do what you want me to do and go through it all by myself, because he never offered one thing to me, never offered help, never offered services, never said shit. And honestly, if I were Chick-fil-A, I would have been like the person to say, look at me and go, man, we can nab that chick up right now. And she will be our Chick-fil-A chick, because she is sweet. She's a good person. She's just out here. She's lost. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know how to still work a microwave. Y'all, I didn't even still know how to work a microwave. Like, I had so many struggles. I couldn't figure out so many things. And I literally would get in the shower and turn the water off just to silence the noise, because the trauma of what I grew up with, the water noise affected me showering. So just things like that people don't think about. I was in a lot of really, I needed help so bad. And now when I think back in my life, even to the present, when I've asked people or told people, like, I'm in really bad shape and I need some help, they don't have to worry about, oh, is she on drugs? Is she a drunk? Is she a piece of shit? They don't worry about that. They just act like I can deal with anything and everything, and I'm going to be fine the next day. But honestly, y'all, sometimes it's hard to think about tomorrow, because everything I think I've ever done in my life has not been worthless. I think I did a lot of great things, and I don't see where a lot of it was good for, a lot of it was good for others, but it ended up in the end that I lost a lot of people, because the better choices I made, the less friends I had. And then at those moments like that, when I think back over things and people judging people about having an abortion, I always think to myself, but what if you only knew the background? Like, I wouldn't have gotten pregnant if I knew what I was into. I would never, because I didn't want a kid. I never crossed my mind. I really thought you were probably going to have sex a million times to get pregnant. Who gets pregnant? You know, like, Mario didn't tell me. He didn't wear a condom. He knew I wasn't on birth control. I didn't even know what birth control was. So, shit, how do I know? So, I literally didn't know what birth control was. I had no clue. So, when you're working for Chick-fil-A and you get yourself, let's say you were to even been worse. Let's say you were, like, my brothers were doing things to me when I was growing up. And one time, one of them that's dead, and I'm going to go ahead and speak about it because I don't care anymore. I give up on trying to be all, like, don't talk about this and that because it's upsetting. No, it's the truth, and at least when I die, it'll all be out there and everybody will know this is what some of the shit people put people through and deal with. So a couple of my siblings were molesting me as I grew up in the closet, and so one day Cheryl McCrae looks at them when they're getting rid of me, and they've done, like, you know, used me for the last bit, gotten all the money they can try to hustle out of using me. They asked my brother, who passed away, with one of my other siblings, and said, hey, what were you going to do if she got pregnant? And you know what they said? They both, quote, said, well, we were just going to throw her down the stairs. That way it would kill her and the baby. That comment was made about a year prior to me having an abortion, year and a half. Couldn't have been more than 2 years. Well, no, because he was dead already. So, yeah, it was probably like a year. So you go from, oh, we're just going to throw her down the stairs and kill her and the baby, or we're going to fire you because you work at Chick-fil-A, and now you didn't know, but you're with a company that is going to get rid of you because they don't like what you're doing. Because I didn't lie, I told the truth, and that was a really big screw up, because don't tell Christians the truth, because that really backfires. See what I mean about actions? They just mean so much more. I just really don't want to die. I don't want to die and people not know what I've lived. I want it to be remembered. It won't matter to anybody right now. I know that, except for my fans. It doesn't matter to anybody in my family. They could give a crap. My daughter hates me. She's like lives a life where she's so much better than me, and she is. She's got a lot of good stuff going on. She got she has a great school she's going to, and she's got a classy family now, and I'm not very classy, you know. And I changed, and I grew up a lot, and it didn't, like, she was never, like, abused or molested or anything like that. She was spoiled rotten. So was my son, and they both, like, really have done stuff that is so hurtful. And I deal with it, a lot of it daily, and I'm trying so hard to be a better person every time and take the higher road and stuff. But when you live your whole life really learning and growing and trying to be a better person, and then you look around and everybody just takes advantage of your goodness or your naiveness, or maybe just the fact that you care so much that they'll just take and like, I don't want y'all to think bad about my kids or something. I'm so proud of my daughter. I'm proud she's got a family now. She deserves a family, and I couldn't give her one. So, you know, because my son's got a good family, so I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud that they both graduated. They're really smart, super beautiful people. They have a good family, and I'm really proud of that. But to my daughter, she's made it clear, like, I don't measure up enough to be a part of everything good that I did do, because once they get to high school and graduate, then it's like F you, and they go and get with a better family, and they don't want you around anymore because you're not wealthy enough or good enough, or I don't know. I changed so much after that situation. That's a whole nother situation I haven't talked about, because I love my children, and I want them to understand, like, one day when I'm not here, I want them to know that I tried so hard and I worked horribly hard to be a good mom and to do good things for good people. And even if they weren't good people, I still tried, and I didn't want my kids to suffer. So I just want to make sure that people understand that when people do actions like this stupid thing with Chick-fil-A, it bothered me, because it brought me back to a place of, like, I needed help, and instead of somebody helping, it was just like a smack in my face. And so just, I don't know, maybe I'm just having a hard time right now, but I miss my daughter, and I know she's really got a great life, but I can't be everything she needs me to be, and I don't even know what all that is, because literally I did everything in the world to give her everything, and it wasn't just me. She abandoned a lot of most of the family, but we were all good to the kids. These kids had a great life, so I didn't want them to ever go through what I went through, like the day of Chick-fil-A, where you're not given an opportunity to keep your job. You're just fired because you have to make a choice, because, well, you just came from a torture camp, and, you know, your family was going to throw you down the stairways and kill you to get rid of what they were doing to you. Jeez, like, what's the big deal? And I thought, like, when my kids grew up, I thought everything was going to be like this awesome, like, family together. You know, they're proud of their mom. They're proud that they got to go to college. They're proud that they didn't get to live in a world that it wasn't perfect, but they didn't want to run away. They didn't lack for anything. They were very much loved and cared for. And yes, I had to deal with a lot of things in my life and change for the better, and I did, but you shouldn't just abandon people or throw them away or fire them from their jobs and take away things that you don't like or abuse them, because you know nobody cares about them. That is a big deal I'm dealing with right now in my life, is abusing people or taking advantage of everything that I do good. And one day I'll talk about it. But right now I can't. And it sucks. And it hurts. I just want to make sure somebody knows, like, because I'm really sick on top of it. And I want to make sure people know. Like, when I die, like, I wanted them to know that I really tried. But I just didn't have a lot of options. And the ones I did, I don't regret my choices. I'm just glad that I learned
And I just want people to know that. So just remember, when you go to Chick-fil-A, that's the kind of representation you get when you're there and you're at a place in life where you could really use some help. Because actions to everybody is zero. I've learned that really hard. Or if they have actions, they really thrive off using people and hurting people that don't have a family. So, anyways, I love y'all. I just wanted to show you this, and I'm attaching one more video about Chick-fil-A. That's why this triggered me into this, because when you see this mess, this makes me sick. And hold on, let me do one more part. Hold on, part 4.